Hey, Facebook. Are we live? Are we live? So I'm gonna keep talking until I know that we're live because it's been a month of Sundays. You know what they say about the month of Sundays? It's been a month of Sundays since I've done a Facebook Live, right? It's been a while. So I'm checking to see if it's going to the places I need to go. And I see it is. But anyway, if you're coming on, tell me your name and where you're from. I can't see some of the comments, but I'm going to try and do this. Now, for those of you who've been rocking with me for a while, you know that I pretty much abandoned most of the Facebook. Once they played me for my money. Remember that time they gave me some money and then they started playing with it. And I was like, oh, I see y'all trying to play the people for the engagement numbers and all of that. And I don't want to play the game. Well, what happened was I started taking my talents over to the TikTok. I took my talents to TikTok because over in TikTok, like, yo, it's a whole different world. So I get a lot of engagement on TikTok. I get a lot of community on TikTok. I get a lot of people who respond. I went live on TikTok. Like, I go live on TikTok way more than I go live on Facebook anymore. But one of the things I want to commit to doing is showing back up in the places that I hadn't been and even going back and looking at what it looks like to launch or relaunch or actually pay some attention to my YouTube page. But yeah, so I'm trying out this system, right? I've had a StreamYard for years. I've had it for a long time. I just haven't used it. So this is me testing out the system, but also sharing with you guys some of the things that I've heard uh, along the way over on the TikTok. So this morning I went live on TikTok, and basically I was just kind of doing I had some time in between meetings, and I was just talking to the people, and part of talking to the people, I said something that I wanted to share, one with the Facebook people, but also I wanted to let you know, I wanted to talk more about kind of this process. But the thing that I said, and I actually asked somebody to please write it down for me, and she sent it to me. And I'm going to go back to talking about this whole thing with this, what this man told me, what this man told me, who I believe he believes he was being so prolific and speaking into my life, and what he told me what I need to do to keep a man, and what I've done to not keep a man. And it's just it's a whole interesting thing. Hey, Facebook users, tell me your name is Facebook user. I don't know who you are, but a good afternoon to you as well. So in my live today, and I want to lead off and say this so that I don't forget it, get caught up in the foolishness of what the peoples have to say. In my live today, I said, and y'all, if you've been following me for a while, you know sometimes I be dropping some stuff off. Yes, the man's planning. Hey, Chantal, girl, you a real one. You a real one. Thank you, girl. I stay dropping some nuggets that I don't realize that are nuggets until I say it out my mouth, and then I'll be like, "Ooh, that's good. Somebody need to write that down." And fortunately, this woman wrote it down and sent it to me. But I said in my life this morning, if you understood your purpose, you wouldn't keep fumbling your favor. I don't know who needs to hear that, but if you understood your purpose, you wouldn't keep fumbling your favor. And so I was really talking about how we get into these places. Yes, I know, for real, girl. We get into these spaces of where we fall more in line with caring about what a mere mortal says or a man says. And I said these raggedy humans. Like, humans can be real raggedy, right? Humans can be real raggedy. And so sometimes we forget that we are purpose for more. And instead we kowtow to what a raggedy human would have to say about us. And because of that thing that a raggedy human has to say about us, we will stop what it is we are purposed to do. We won't rise to the occasion. We won't do the things that we were put on this earth to do. Am I right or am I right? I see your amens. I don't know who you are. It says that there's 6 people viewing. I don't know where y'all viewing for 7. I don't know where y'all viewing from. But if you could drop your name, tell me who you is, I'd appreciate that because I can't see anything. But anyway, so I want to talk a little bit about this comment. Um, and really what it got me to thinking, because I did a response to it, and someone said, don't. Oh, don't bother. Hey, Jen, don't bother with the trolls. Sometimes I feed the trolls because one, it's entertaining. Two, the main reason that I feed the trolls that come on my page is because for every person who is bold enough to say something to me as a stranger, right, in the way that they come at me on my page sometimes, because I'm sharing my journey, because I'm a 52-year-old woman who has the nerve to get divorced after being with somebody almost 30 years. The way that they feel like they can say things to me, I know that there are women who are hearing that behind the scenes. They're hearing it in their personal life. And they might not have the language by which to rebuke it. And I'm gonna rebuke it. I'm gonna be like, you ain't the boss of me, silly little man. You raggedy human. Like these raggedy mere mortals are trying to knock us off of our game. And so when I understand my purpose, sure, I'll repeat the phrase, when I understand my purpose, when I understand that it's bigger than the opinions of someone who doesn't matter, when it's bigger than the opinion of someone who does not understand, when it's bigger than the opinion of someone that I am not called to serve, I am not assigned. You are not assigned to me. And if you're not assigned to me, you won't understand some of the things I say and do. When I understand that, then I don't fumble the favor that comes along with my purpose. So, from the live this morning on TikTok, this is what I said. If you understood your purpose, you wouldn't fumble your favor. And I spoke about how we sometimes get caught up in other people's gifts and other people's purpose and try to do things the way that other people are doing it, or try to dictate to other people how they should do things, when what we have to understand is each of our journeys are individual, right? Like, I'm not meant to live your life. You're not meant to live my life. How we show up is divinely assigned. It's divinely assigned, and we out here fumbling. We're fumbling our favor. We're fumbling the ball because of what some raggedy put on their pants the same way we do. Mere mortals have spoken into our lives, and so. But before I do that, I want to show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys the comment. Right, I'm gonna show you the comment, the thing that he said and my response to it. If you don't like me cussing, and this is not me cussing, this is me using a sound on TikTok. But if you have sensitive ears, I want you to tune off now, because there's a slight bit of profanity in here, and we'll talk about that later too. All right, so let's see. Is this one right here? Let me make sure it's up so y'all can hear it. My response. First off, bitch, mind your business. So this is what he said. First off, bitch, mind your business. He said, learn to control your mouth in sarcasm, volume, and being an outright know-it-all. And then you will keep a man. And then you will keep a man. Oh, I thought that was the funniest thing that I had seen, right? But I recognize that there are some people who take who take that to heart, right? Who take the opinions of the unqualified opinions of strangers to heart. And that's what causes a lot of people to not show up and serve in the way they're supposed to. So for those of you who've been around, I've been very public about my journey. Now, I don't tell you everything while I'm in the moment, but I've been very public about being 52. I'm now 52. I had a birthday a couple weeks ago. Being 52 years old and going through a divorce, which is almost final, y'all. I'm about to be saying I'm 52 and divorced after 30 years, right? And really, like, the healing that's taken place along that journey. My healing journey is very personal to me. My healing journey is everything to me. That's been my priority. And it wouldn't make any sense for me to allow other people's opinions to determine how I navigate this very personal journey that I've made public. But what I recognize is, in speaking my truth, right? In speaking my truth and speaking about who I am and how I am and how I'm getting through this process, that what it's allowed me to do is it's allowed me to help other people. It's allowed me to help other people. I have a Facebook group that has almost 800 people in it, 800 women. Now, it didn't start off being a group for, how to manage my divorce. It's really Shift Queens. It's Shift Queens. Oh, look, I got banners and things. I'm remembering how to play with these things. It's Shift Queens. To get into it, shiftqueens.com. But it's for women who are in any level of transition or shift. And I started that group before things started really blowing up about me talking about being divorced or getting divorced. Things start blowing up. And when things start blowing up, and I was on TikTok, and there were women who were saying, I'm going through the same thing. I have nobody to talk to. My friends and families have abandoned me. I wish that I had some community. And so I funnel these women into this group. And in this group, we have conversation, there's community, people have some camaraderie, they have an opportunity to do all of that. But I was very intentional about being authentically who I am and being true to my journey and not allowing the naysayers, the people who come out the woodwork, the people who don't mean nothing to me. That man Clancy, I believe his name, he don't mean nothing to me. So what would I look like allowing him to throw me off my purpose? What would I look like, y'all? What would I look like? But that's exactly what a lot of you look like when you're hiding, right? I wouldn't be able to show up in the way that I show up if I was hiding under an umbrella of shame. I refuse to walk in shame about anything that's going on. It's my story. It's my life. It's who I am. And when you allow yourself to be ashamed of certain parts of your story, you deny yourself the right to fully heal because you can't heal if you are ashamed. Um, I wrote an ebook. Let me show y'all my ebook, y'all. When I tell you, I put a lot of work into this ebook, and mostly I say I put a lot of work into this ebook because, um, because I started working on it a long time ago. It was something I should have done a long time ago, but I want to show you parts of how it works. So the ebook, what I did with the ebook was I created not only is it 10 things you need to know, but it's also, I added some coaching questions because, it wouldn't be me if I didn't add coaching questions. So I added some coaching questions to, to the whole thing, which allows you to do a deeper dive, right? And so one of the things, oh, let me see if I'm sharing it yet. One of the things that I talked about in that is I talk about shame. I talk about responsibility, taking responsibility for your life. Like you may not be responsible for what happened, but it's now your responsibility to heal that. And you can't heal it if you are stuck in shame. So this ebook, let me go ahead and put the thing up in case you guys want to grab it. It is a name your own price starting at $3. And once you get to $3, you can go up as high as you want to go. But I want to show you guys what it looks like. And I hope I have the volume on because the way that I have this set up. Now, obviously as an ebook, you can also download it. So you can download it as a PDF. But I love the way that I'm able to use this kind of magazine-ish like option. And so I'll show you guys what it looks like. So you hear that? Ooh, love it. So it's like, it tells a little bit about me, about my journey. And these are 10 things you may need to hear. Because y'all know how I do. I don't know who needs to hear this, but so blame versus responsibility. That's the thing right there that I want to really talk about. When we talk about blame, we talk about being in these spaces of uh, assigning blame and assigning shame. Those are really stoppers. We cannot progress through healing if we're stuck in a place where we allow ourselves to get in a place where we're beating ourselves up, where we're taking responsibility for things that aren't our responsibility, right? So the thing that I know is it may not be your responsibility, that thing that happened to you. It may not have been you may not have caused it. It may not have been your fault, but it's now your responsibility. That's one of the 10 things you need to know. That's one of the 10 things you need to know about this journey. It may not have been your fault, but now it's your responsibility. So then detach yourself away from the shame of the things that have happened to you, the shame of how people have treated you, the shame of how the folks who have left you, the shame of whatever it is, right? Because when we get stuck in that place of shame and then blaming other people, right? First of all, when we blame other people and we don't take responsibility for our part, what we do is we remove the opportunity for us to have the ability to resolve and fix, right? Because if you are the only person who's responsible for what's happened to me, then now my healing is contingent upon you doing things. My healing is contingent upon you doing things, you standing up, you fixing it. And in order for you to get the healing that you desire, the healing that you need, you have to be willing to take responsibility for the things that you can take responsibility for. That doesn't mean that you blame yourself, doesn't mean you get caught up in shame. That means that you just have very real conversations with yourself. Very real conversations with yourself where you sit yourself down and you say, okay, so this was some bull. Like this thing that happened, it shouldn't have happened to me. And because it shouldn't have happened to me, here's the part I want to do. I want to assign them their responsibility, what they did, what they shouldn't have done to me, what they shouldn't have said to me. And then I want to make sure that I take responsibility for my part. I want to take responsibility for my part. What was my part? In the conversation, like I told y'all before, I had the conversation where I had to come back and I said, look, as I was speaking to as I affectionately refer to him, my husband, I was speaking to my husband. I'd been gone for almost 5 months. And I said, I want to call a truce. We hadn't really been duking it out. But every time that I spoke to him, there was this level of, like there was something to the process, right? I was still processing. I was still processing what I was going through. And so I was showing up in ways that I didn't care to show up when I spoke with him. And so I I said, look, we need to talk about some things. And here's the thing. I don't need for you to say a word. I just want to own my shit because I did it for my own healing. I didn't do it for his healing. Like I'm sure it was good for him to hear me take responsibility for my stuff, my part. But I didn't do it for him. I did it for me. I owned my shit. I forgive you. I forgive me. I forgive us both for not doing better when we could have done better. I forgive us. I released that. And that was so germane to my healing process. I didn't have to point fingers at anybody. I'm not pointing fingers to anybody. I'm looking at myself and going, okay, Rhonda, what do you need to do? What do you need to do and to take responsibility for your healing? What do you need to do? What's in your control? Because the only thing that I will ever allow myself to do, again, as it relates to trying to control somebody or something, I only want to control my actions. I can't even control my life. I just want to control my action and my responses to it. That's what I can control. So when I get very real about that, when I get very real about that, then I know that I can. That's when I can get my healing. So this is a workshop. We need to talk. This is Latanya from Notre Dame. I will be in touch. Come through, sis. Come through, sis. Come through. Because you know I could talk about this all day. It's not. It may not have been your fault, but it's now your responsibility. Let me see what else I got. I'm gonna give y'all a little snippet. I mean, you can have your own for $3. It's name your own price. If you want to pay $45 for it, you can. But you can have your very own for just $3. And when I tell you, there's also questions. So let me see what the question is behind this. Because when I tell y'all, I wrote this so long ago. Oh, here are the questions. And y'all, I'm giving this to you for free. What's happened to you that you're still waiting for them to fix? So when you get this ebook, I want you to, when you read the snippet, right, when you read it, I want you to write a reflection in your journal. Write a reflection in your journal. What are you thinking about? And then I want you to answer the questions. So the first question is, what's happened to you that you're still waiting for them to fix? For some of you, it's going to be that thing that it's going to be the worst thing that ever happened to you. You're waiting for somebody else to apologize. You're waiting for somebody else to do something worthy of you forgiving them. You're waiting for somebody else to fix it. But you know what? In your waiting for somebody else to do that, basically what you've done, you've turned over control. You've turned over control for your healing to that person, to the person who harmed you. How much sense does that make? Make it make sense. When you say it out loud, right? When you say it out loud, it doesn't make sense. But that's what we do. We say, you know what? I'm not forgiving them because they're not sorry. So you mean to tell me that the person who harmed you, maybe even on purpose, that you're waiting for them to feel some sort of way before you allow yourself to feel some sort of way? Make it make sense, sis. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Do I need to do my draw face? Make it make sense. Y'all know I love my new toys. I just love playing with the things. It's the But yeah, so make it make sense. And then the second question I have as it relates to this, because see, I don't care if I give this away. I can give this whole workbook away because I recognize that I don't do these things for me. I do this for you. Now it's nice folks want to pay a little something for it. But this is really my birthday gift for you all. So whatever it looks like for you, we might even go through the whole book. We ain't going through the whole book today. We will not go through the whole book, but you will get a really nice sneak peek on today. What do you need to let go of in order to reclaim you? Ooh, see, here's the thing. Some of you are thinking these are basic level questions. These are questions. These are the type of questions I use as a coach with my clients. As a coach with my clients. And when I coach my clients, part of the thing that they say is that question, ooh, I would have never thought about that. Ooh, why you ask me that question? See, here's what I recognize. Part of my gift is I ask really good questions. Ask really good questions. Ask really good questions. And the thing that I know, there's probably 19 questions in here. 19 coaching questions. 19 questions that I came up with for you, for those of you who are reading this book. And so here's the thing. You have to ask yourself. And here's the thing to know. 18 of those questions may not relate to you at all. They may not have anything to do with what you're doing with. You may answer the question and be like, but that one question could be the one question that I ask, and your answer could be the thing that changes your life. That one question I ask and the answer to it could be the one thing that changes your life. Don't get stuck in trying to rush through. Sit with them. Sit with them for a while. What's happened to you? You're still waiting for them to fix. Because here's the thing: you can write there and go nothing. Let it marinate. Let it marinate. Let it marinate. Let it marinate. And I'll tell you how I know, because I have clients that I've asked them questions, and I let it marinate. I'm very comfortable in silence. I let it marinate. And sometimes it's not until after the session that they hit me up and go, oh, that question you asked. Sometimes it's the next session. So I don't mind. So what I will say to you is, if you download this ebook, right? If you let it marinate, don't rush through it. Don't rush through it. Sit with it for a while. Get you a journal, for real. Get you a journal, because the answer to those questions will be the things that shift you from where you're at to where you need to be. Because what I understand is sometimes, and I don't know who this is for, sometimes we need to heal from things that we didn't even know were things. Sometimes those things that you've normalized, you said, it wasn't a big deal. That's just how I grew up. That's how Jesus said that. That's just how they talk to me. It has made an indelible mark on you that's still showing up as a response, and that's still impacting the way that you show up, that's still impacting the way that you interact in relation to other people. And you don't even know until you sit down with a question, until you sit down and you decide to answer. Do a little deep dive. Don't run through these questions. What do you need to let go of in order to reclaim you? Ooh, I tell you, I have a lot of clients, and I know I say this a lot because I think it's a pretty freaking big deal. I have clients who are 6 and 7-figure earners. Now, I ain't got nothing against 5-figure earners, because I know a lot of 5-figure earners. I have a lot of 5-figure clients. But when I say 6 and 7-figure earners, I have international clients. When I say that, it hits a little different to the people sometimes. It hits a little different to folks when they're like, oh, like you talking to, yes, I'm talking to people who have amassed a level of financial success that a lot of us look at and go, woo, you gotta be happy, right? A lot of my clients, the reason that they're my clients is that they recognize that there's a disconnect. There's something, they got all of the things and they're still not able to feel all the things that they want to feel in terms of having peace, in terms of that gnawing going away. You know, that gnawing that there's more, there should be more, you should be doing more. I don't know what the more is, but there's that thing that won't let you go. a lot of them have issues of control. They have issues of control. Ooh, I love a good control freak. You know why? Because a lot of control freaks don't realize that they're control freaks until I'm like, ooh, what does that sound like to you? And then they go, is that control? Oh, that is control. That is control. Ooh, okay. I didn't realize that I was trying to control that. That is control. What happens is sometimes until you have somebody outside of you who is asking those questions, like these types of questions, you don't really know. So let's see what else is in here. What else can we talk about? Don't y'all love the way it is? Ooh, this was about vulnerability. Be brave enough to be yourself. Unapologetically, you be brave enough to be yourself. Let's see, what parts of you are you keeping here for fear that they might, or what they might think? Come on now. And y'all know me enough. Y'all see how pretty it is? Ooh, here's a good one. It might be time to check your circle to decide who you need to promote, demote, and fire, and then do it as needed. So yeah, so let me see what the next, because this one actually it's like a more of it's a process, things to do, right? So this is why I said make a list of the people who are in your circle. Think about your innermost circle. Then make a list of the people who are right outside of that circle. Like, yo, like they're not in my inner circle, but they real cool. And then ask yourself, what value do these friendships and these relationships bring you? What value? Is it a positive impact or is it a negative impact? And if you have to think too hard about whether it's positive or negative, it's probably not the positivity that you need in your life. And then decide who needs to go, who needs to stay, and who needs to be promoted. And decide what that looks like for each relationship. And then what type of person are you missing? Like as you're looking at your inner circle, are you going, you know what? I really need some other folks in my life. I really need some. Oh, you're gonna have to fight. I'm gonna stop before y'all see all of it. I'm gonna stop before y'all see all of it because right now it ain't your. You want to see more? Go to healebook.com and order your own. I mean, pay whatever you want to pay, but the thing that you have to recognize, right, is that there are things that on your journey of healing, you're gonna have to get really real about. You're gonna have to get really real about the type of people in your circle. You're gonna have to get really real about the type of influence people have on you. If your energy shifts in a negative way around certain people, you will have to explore that no matter what they bring for you. You're welcome, Kate. You're welcome. You're gonna have to really decide, who do I want to become? And am I am I am I giving that version of myself that I want to become the proper things to become her? And sometimes that means you got to get real with you. Sometimes that means you have to get real with you. Sometimes that means you have to get real with you. So yeah, so along with that, I deal with some trolls on the on the TikTok. If you're not following me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. I'm on TikTok at Shift Queens. Grab the book here, healebook.com. But on my my TikTok, I'm usually in there giving some form of motivation, inspiration, telling the story. And what's happened is I found that it resonates with a lot of women and some men. I've had men. Oh, cool, thanks. I've had men who have commented that they've experienced some of these same things as well. Like, even though they're not my target audience, even though they're not who I'm talking to, even though they are not shift queens, that they are finding benefit in what I say. And I only say that to say that there are people who are missing parts of their journey because you're not showing up in yours. You're not showing up fully in yours. You're hiding your testimony because you're ashamed of it, or you don't want people to know what's going on. And there's so much power and there's so much freedom. There's so much freedom in being transparent and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. in front of people. There's so much freedom in that. And so the reason I show up is to inspire and encourage other people to just own your life, own your truth, own your journey. My journey is not going to look like anybody else's. And so what would it look like for me to be explaining to other people who are not a part of my journey why I do the things the way that I do them, why it's taking so long? Or what was that old dude said to me? That it's because my mouth is loud and I'm obnoxious and sarcastic and I'm a know-it-all. That's the reason I can't keep a man. Bruh. Right? Like I owe no one an explanation. This journey is between me and God. And I tell you what, he's been doing a mighty fine job of putting this Humpty Dumpty back together. And so when I talk about control, right? For me, control, I didn't realize how much control I was trying to have when I said, okay, God, I'm turning it over to you. And then I'd be like, okay, but then let me go and keep this. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this part, God. I know I kind of trust you, kind of sort of not really, kind of sort of not really like, I trust you with that over there, but I don't really trust you with this. Now I'm team. You know what, Lord? However you say I'm supposed to do this, that's why I sit. That's why I pray these bold prayers. I pray these bold prayers, y'all. I pray these bold prayers. And before I recognize the power of these bold prayers, when these bold prayers were being answered, they were molly-whopping me. I was getting beat up by the answer to my prayers. When I was 46, the night I turned 46, I was like, ooh, Lord, show me who I am. Anybody pray that prayer? Show me. If you ain't ready, don't mess around and pray that prayer. Lord, show me who I am. I pray, Lord, show me who I am. And whoa, yeah, like I assumed that I knew some things about me. And so when he started showing me who I was like, oh. And then it got real. Like it got real. It got real. And I think part of the reason that it got real for me in terms of I was incredibly anxious. I was dealing with a lot of depression. And I believe it was because I was out of alignment with, I asked for the thing, I got the thing, and then I fought the thing. Like, no, this ain't it. Because I didn't realize that I was in the middle of an answered prayer. And I think sometimes we pray for things and we don't understand what that answered prayer will look like. We think it's going to look one way, but it looks a whole nother way. And so what I do now is when I pray the prayers, I go, I'm turning it over. I prayed the prayer, Lord, if it's not for me, remove me from it. Now I have a TikTok where I said, when you pray that prayer, you better pray for some strength. Because that list, when you pray, the list of people who leave might make you buckle your knees. And there's people in that post like, woo, sis, I wish I had known before I prayed that prayer. Pray for strength. And so now I pray different. But I'm ready for whatever the answer is because I recognize that when I'm in his will, like there's so much peace here. Like I've been saying like I have faith and I do this, but I'm in such peace. And I do anything to protect my peace. And part of my peace sometimes is even if this thing disrupts me a little bit, I recognize that God is in this. Now, that doesn't mean I'm perfect, right? That doesn't mean that I don't get nervous sometimes. That don't mean that I'm not afraid, but that means that I recognize that I'm doing what I need to do, right? I love the Lord and I'm called according to his will. So all things work in my favor. All things. And part of that means that I show up. So I haven't shown up in a while. I go on these hiatuses where I don't show up. And now I want to, I just want to commit more to actually showing up. And so part of that is going to look like offerings, right? Like digital offerings, because I love being creative, right? So I create some digital offerings. I have some workbooks. Excuse me, I probably have 2-3 workbooks that I could put out there that will change somebody's life. I can no longer be selfish with with the giftings, right? Um, oh, thank you. Thank you. I love that you love when I go live. Um, and so I encourage you to do the same, right? We all have a calling. We all have people who are assigned to our voice. We all have people. Thanks, Jason. Hey, dude. He's like the male version of me, but he is running this thing. He got a podcast. He's a therapist. He's a coach. He's a black male who is really intentional about spreading the gospel of mental health for the black community and black men. So if y'all not following Jason Phillips, follow him. Follow him. Follow him. Because I believe he probably has some things too that will help change your life. And see here, that's the other thing. When you are confident in who you are and how God designed you and know that what's for you is for you, you don't mind sharing the spotlight, right? You don't mind giving shine to folks. You don't mind. My company card wasn't supporting the ebook. All right, knock yourself out. Listen, do what you got to do, sis. Do what you got to do. But yeah, you recognize that what's for you is for you, and so other people shine. It inspires you. It doesn't threaten you. You don't look at other people and be like, "Ooh." I look at people. I work with people and collaborate with people who are doing the same thing that I'm doing because what's for me is for me, and I trust God enough to give me what's mine and to give them what's theirs. I don't want theirs. They speak to different people. They have different products. They do different things. We can do the exact same thing. And if you know that what's for you is for you, you're not threatened by anybody else. You absolutely are not. You absolutely are not. So yeah, feel free to support him. Jen is also a coach. I don't know. We probably need to catch up, Jen, because I don't know how much all of what you're doing. Chantal is a coach. She's the underestimated woman on the Instagram. She's the underestimated woman. Follow her for more content. I love her. She goes live all the time. When I tell you, Chantal she used to avoid, like, I'd be like, yo, why are you so quiet? You got some good messaging. You know what you're doing? And she wouldn't go live. Then all of a sudden, I don't know what got into her, but now she's going live all the time and she's doing a dang thing. So yeah, so for the people who show up, like it takes a lot to show up. It takes a lot to put yourself out there. It takes a lot to say, you know what, this is my truth, and I'm gonna stand beside it. This is who I am. This is how I am. This is how we do this, right? Because anytime you put yourself out there, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position, in a very vulnerable position to share yourself with the world, to share yourself with people who are assigned to your voice, but also recognizing that you will make noise with people who don't resonate with your messaging, and don't allow those people to be the people to stop you from showing up. Don't allow them. And some of those people, I hate to say it, some of those people who are not assigned to your voice will be the people who are closest to you. And that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't mean that they don't support you. That means that what you're saying doesn't resonate with them. It's not meant for them. Not all of my people are meant to get the message from me, and so they might not understand it. Now, as long as I hate to use the word tolerate it because tolerate sounds like such a, but as long as they don't get in the way of it, right? Like I can be with somebody who could be like, okay, yeah, what you're talking about, I don't even understand it, but I support it. If they support it, then fine. But they don't have to understand it because they might not be who God assigned you with your purpose to speak to. You know what I mean? Like, and God created all of us. He created all of us with a purpose. Know your purpose. When you know your purpose, you're less likely to fumble your favor. When you know your purpose, you're less likely to fumble your favor. And when you don't covet the gifts and the purpose of other people, you can grow yours. You will be blessed in yours. You will have peace in yours. You will have understanding in yours. But y'all keep being out here listening to these raggedy humans. Raggedy mere mortals got you out here trying to live somebody else's life, trying to do somebody else's calling. Ooh, okay, so I'm going to end this on this analogy that I use in this the TikTok live. If you're not following me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. I'm the Shift Queen on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. Because it's no offense to any of you, but the engagement is different. Like the people are like commenting like nobody's business. Every time I go live on TikTok, I'm getting a lot of engagement, I'm getting a lot of new followers, I'm getting a lot of my voice reaches further, but I'm still gonna speak here because even if I show up and only one person gets whatever it is, then that's who it's for. I've gotten better about detaching from the outcome. And sometimes detaching from the outcome means that I may show up, I may be on here to talk about this book, I may be on here to talk about purpose, I might be on here to talk about all these things. And the one random thing that I say is the thing that the one person that was supposed to hear this got. So I'm not attached to whatever happens after I'm done with this, right? I'm not attached to this. But okay, so here's the analogy. Oh, you're welcome, Jason. You're welcome. Here's the analogy I use. I said, imagine that, and I use football as an analogy. I really need to get better because I keep using football as an analogy. I don't know anything about football. I mean, I know a little bit. I did go to Jackson State. I did go to football games, mostly for the halftime show, but I did go to football games. So imagine that you're on a football team, right? You're on a football team, and everybody has their positions, right? And you guys can help me with the positions. There's the linebacker, there's the wide receiver, is there a tight end? I don't know what any of these people do. Is there a running back? There's a what's some things called the quarterback, right? There's the quarterbacks, there's all these people. I said, imagine that you are on this team and you are the quarterback, and the coach puts you in, and you have a play. And that play that you have, everybody knows what to do when you do that thing, whatever that hike. I don't know who the hiking guy, what they call a hiking guy. The one who throws it to the quarterback, hike. I don't know what they call him. But after hike, you get the ball, and you're supposed to follow the play. You're supposed to throw the ball at somebody. But let's say that instead, Mr. Quarterback, you allow one of them raggedy mere mortals on your team, the center. Okay, thanks, Jason, the center. You allow one of those mere mortals on your team to say, you know what? I think you'd be better as a running back. You're more of a wide receiver. Now, keep in mind, as a quarterback, you were born to quarterback. Like you have quarterbacking arms from the time you were little. You've been doing exercises, so now you got muscle memory. When you pick up a ball, it's the easiest thing for you. You don't even have to think, right? Because we recognize muscle memory is a thing. You can muscle memory from repetition, right? Oh, this is about to go somewhere. This is about to go somewhere. Follow me. You got muscle memory because you show up and you do that thing and you practice, right? And from the time you were a little kid, somebody looked at you and said, you have the arms of a quarterback. You have the eyes of a quarterback. You have the precision of a quarterback. You are a quarterback. But then you get to playing, and quarterbacking it just seems so easy for you. Like it's just so easy. Like anybody could be a quarterback is what you're thinking. Anybody can be a quarterback. So now you're in the game. You're in the game. You come out of the huddle. The coach is giving you the play. You know what you're supposed to do. But on the way, you got the running back saying to you, you know what? I think you're more of a wide receiver. I think you're more of a wide receiver. I think I'm more of a quarterback. But I think you're more of a wide receiver. You go out there, you get in position, right? You get in position. You get in quarterbacking position. The center snaps. The center goes, ha. Isn't that what they say? Ha, ha, 2, 3. I don't even know what the numbers are. Oh, I guess the numbers to play. Duh. Is that what it is when they call in the numbers to play? The center does what the center does. He throws the ball to you. And because you allow somebody else to tell you that you weren't who you weren't the quarterback, you don't play your position. You don't play your position. And because you don't play your position, nobody else can play theirs. Nobody else can play their position. Am I speaking to somebody? Nobody else can play their position because you're not playing yours. But when you pick up that ball and you do that thing that you do, right? Now if everybody gets in their position, you can make it over the goal line. You can make it over the goal line. You can make it over the goal line. Who is that? It's like you are in my brain. I've literally used this analogy of being a quarterback and needing to ignore the noise of come on now. Like sometimes I show up and I say, I don't know who needs to hear this. Apparently, Listen, confirmation. God speaks to us in different ways. Confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. Who was that with the quarterback? Put your name in there and put quarterback so I know who you were, or put QB so I know who you were. But recognize that if we are not playing our position, and oftentimes we're not playing our position because we don't understand our purpose. We don't understand our purpose. We are out of alignment. So now you're a quarterback who's trying to play running back. You're a quarterback who's trying to be the center. You're the quarterback who's getting in other people's way. And now the game is not fun. Now the game is not productive. Now you're not winning. You know you have all of the talent in the world. Okay, LaTanya. Okay. You know you have all of the talent in the world. You know that your team has all of the talent in the world. But what's happened is you allow some raggedy mere mortal to say to you, your position is, your purpose is, and you ignored what it was that you knew you were to do. Oh, so Kate says, my grandmother used to say, be true to your vocation in life. Yes, we have to play our position. And part of what happens is you have the running back over there, like, or the center going, I want to be the quarterback. Because for some reason that seems more appealing to you. We're out here coveting each other's positions. Come on now, coveting each other's position, and you're missing the blessing in your own. You cannot covet the position of somebody else. You cannot covet somebody else's purpose. You cannot covet somebody else's gifting. Because imagine what would happen if you got in the gym and you worked on yours. If you worked on developing your own position, if you worked on making sure that you had hands to catch, if you knew what the play was and you played your position, I don't know who needs to hear this, but again, I don't know a lot about football, but follow me here. There's a position that's rarely called, right? There's a position that's rarely called, and it's usually like a little bitty person. A little bitty person, and sometimes they get people who are on soccer, sometimes they get people who belong in different, they belong in different areas to come and serve as the kicker on the team. And sometimes the kicker, their only job is to sit and wait for the opportunity to kick a ball. Imagine if the kicker said, I don't want to do this, because that kicker that comes in the game, and y'all don't bother correcting me if I'm wrong, because this analogy is going to flow either way. But the kicker whose only job is to kick a field goal, their only job is to kick a field goal, could be the winning kick. That could be the thing that takes the game over to where you win. They played their position. They sat on the sideline, and you know what they did the whole game? They practiced kicking in a straight line, because that was their position. That was their part. That's what they were created to do. That was their purpose on the team. Some of you are supposed to be kicking, and you're too mad you're not the quarterback. Not realizing that we need you in position in order to win the game. Come on now. 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 Tell me I'm lying. We need you in the position so we can win the game. And when I talk about winning the game, I'm talking about the game of humanity. I'm talking about the game of just us existing as humans and not being miserable with these expectations that are generated by someone else's motives. Generated by somebody else's motives. This is beautiful. You would definitely need to get it spruced up for the next time you speak in Notre Dame. Yes. I would spruce up all the things. But yeah, so you can help yourself by leaning into your purpose. By leaning into it, stop fighting it, lean into it, understand it. I'm gonna put up my Rhonda Let's Talk if you wanna. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Actually, run to Gipson-Willis.com is where you find all of my stuff. You find the links to my group, you find the links to my book, you find the links to scheduling a call with me. But I do have some, I have about 3 or 4, because I had some clients who rescheduled this week. And I've had some clients who have ended. So I have some times that are available for one-on-ones. If people want a one on one. You don't have to. It don't have to be a long time commitment. Go to RhondaLet'sTalk.com if you need somebody to help you. So I'll tell you what. And I need to put it on my stories today because I went and worked out with my coach, with my trainer today. I went and worked out with my trainer. And when I tell you my butt is so sore right now, my butt is so sore right now. And I almost forgot that I had worked out. Like when I do the workout, it's really hard, right? When I do the workout, it's really hard. And I complain most of the time. I complain most of the time that I'm working out because it's hard. And I said to her, she said, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to get a heavier weight." Now, she had just gotten a heavier weight before that. Then she got another one. And she, Lala got me. Lala got me. Who is that? Who is that know that Lala will get you? When I tell you my butt is on fire right now, and she said, "I'm going to get you a heavier weight for the next time." So each time the weights got heavier, right? I started off with 20 pounds and I was doing hip thrusts. I'm going to post the videos. Don't none of y'all get no ideas. I was doing hip thrusts. Oh, Jennifer, yes, Jen, Lala will get you. I was doing hip thrust. And then she had me do this thing where I had to squat and hold a thing. And I thought I was going to pass out. And she said, "You can actually do more. You can do more." And I was like, "But I don't want to do more." And she's like, "You're going to do more. You're going to do more." And I said, "Okay, I trust you, right? You're the coach." But I also said, because I missed a whole week of training last week because I was out of town. I missed a whole week and I had intentions of working out. But what I said was, this is why I hired a coach. I know how to work out. I know how to do all the things, but I won't do them. I won't do them. Oh, she was one of your students. She is amazing. Love that girl. But I didn't like her this morning. As a coach, I recognize that there are certain things that people won't do unless you have a coach. There are certain things that you won't even think about unless you have a coach. There are certain activities, right? Because she's an expert. Her expertise is this. That's her expertise. So there are certain things that I wouldn't have known to do to target certain areas had she not been there. And so I pay for the opportunity to have her, not only her expertise, but the result. And the result means that I will only do it if I have a coach, an outside objective person who is willing to push me in ways I won't push myself. This went over somebody's head. It went over somebody's head. It went over somebody's head. But recognize that as a coach, so I want to go back to the, we can do one coaching call and it can change your life. Because like I said, old girl said she spent 20 minutes with me, and that's not the only time I've heard that. And so I'm offering out some opportunities. I'll probably do something more structured where I just have like 4 or 5, like, here's the spots. Come get your spot if you want it. But for now, you can go to Rhonda Let's Talk. If there's something on there that doesn't fit you, doesn't suit you, just book your time, and then you can hit my assistant up at support@RhondaGipson-Willis.com, and we can get you on another day, because I tend to leave my Mondays and Fridays client free, but I understand sometimes people can only meet on those days. But with that being said, that's my thing. If there's something that you want, hit me up in my inbox. And I'm thinking about doing, it's been a while since I've done a master class. I'm thinking about doing another master class. And that's part of the reason I was testing this out. I like the way this works. So I think I might go ahead and do that in the next month or so. What y'all think? Y'all think I should do a master class? Another one. The last one I did was Built for More, and it was good. It was good. It was good. So I think I'm going to do another master class. But definitely, if there's something, if you have a question about anything, hit me up in my inbox, or hit my assistant up at support@RhondaGipson-Willis.com. And I'm going to go now because I have a client. And it's been a while since I've seen my clients because I was on vacation last week. I've been missing it. I miss it sometimes. But yeah, with that being said, I hope that football analogy made sense to you guys. And have a wonderful day. Ciao. Oh, I'm probably supposed to say something like, follow me on TikTok. There needs to be a call to action. That's what they teach us, right? Follow my TikTok. Hit me up. Grab the ebook at what's the ebook? It was, oh yeah, my butt hurts so bad. Healed healebook.com. Healebook.com. Grab that. If you do nothing else, grab that. It's literally $3. Um, it would have been worth it if I made it $50, quite frankly. And it's so pretty. But grab the ebook and dig into those questions. And if you want to dig into more with me, you can book with me for a one-on-one or hit me up in my inbox. All right, y'all. So have a very lovely Wednesday. It's hump day. I pray that you are using your gifts the way that they were purposed and that you are in environments that consistently grow you. In Jesus' name. All right, y'all. Take care. Bye.